Hello and welcome back to Formula G, the Formula E inspired Gran Turismo Sport series. It's round 4 and we're at Le Mans. They Hate Melty is on pole, with Tweetman second, these two rivals side by side for what should be a great event. In third place we've got Yvonne, and then fourth Sophie. These two Team Brit drivers have been absolutely punishing the regular top drivers, and we are away. 40 minutes of action. The drivers are going to have to manage their tyres, but more importantly manage their fuel. They don't have enough fuel to finish the race, and so fuel management is going to be absolute key to a good result. Melty, using his overtake there to get away at the start, so he wants to get away, but he's gone wide, lost a little bit of that advantage, but he's okay. Tweetman in second there in the scurry coloured car. He's always with Melty. Melty has a penalty for that off, but it's only half a second. He should be able to burn that quite safely. Sophie and Yvonne there, third and fourth, will undoubtedly work together. Also, Asher's known to be a bit of a sprinter, so keep your eye on her as well. McFlurry twist there from SSBB, just behind Asher. It's really, really hard to manage your fuel when you've got these long straights, but we'll see how everybody does. There's the Grandpa car in seventh. And that's being attacked now by Ferocious in 8th. Oh, make that Ferocious in 7th. So there's a pass for position. 9th is John Boy. 10th, Kaz. And 11th, JDP Gaming. So back to the front. Melty hasn't burnt his penalty yet. And Tweetman is right behind him. Could this be 40 minutes of nose to tail, just like it was in the first race, when Melty was chased by Tweetman for the entire race? Before accidentally spinning out just before the end. It looks like Tweetman's in that slipstream there. I don't think he's going to overtake. I think Tweetman's going to want to just save his fuel. He is something of a fuel saving expert. We do often see in this series that someone will scamper away at the front and then the race will become more alive at the end. But right now these two titans in our Discord, Melty and Tweetman, are nose to tail, nothing separating them. This could be for the entire race, knowing these two. But of course, these races aren't run on the first lap. They just get themselves settled down, get their fuel saving positions right, get their lift and coast right. It's going to be right at the end, the last 10 minutes or so, and everybody realises they've got just enough fuel or not enough fuel or too much fuel, and that's when we'll start to see strategies playing out. So They Hate Melty and Tweetman seem to be working together at the moment. Sophie and Yvonne, who always work together. Asher just trying to keep them in check. Grandpa up to 6th and John Boy up to 7th, so some cars on the move. Saflish just dropped down to 8th. McFlurry Twist is 9th, so he's had some sort of drama because he was running well earlier. And I don't know if Kaz and John are going to be working together. It certainly doesn't look like it. Back to the front. Melty's dropped Tweetman a little bit. Tweetman seems to be giving a little bit of tow now to Sophie. And Yvonne has dropped off this pack. In fact, Yvonne's under pressure from Asher at the moment. Asher looking a little bit aggressive there. So Asher wants that 4th place. Oh, a little bit wide there on the exit. We come to finish, but it's just the first lap. A lot seems to happen on the first lap. But everything is quite settled right now. Back to the front. Tweetman in that slipstream for the lead. Sophie just hanging back a little bit. Everybody's saving fuel. Nice wide line there. It's that first corner. Give that perfect straight line braking. Meanwhile, I can't tell if Yvonne and Asher are working together or if this is a battle. It's a little bit early to be fighting. We're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. Tweetman right on the back of Melty, so he's whatever caused him to drop back, he's got over it. He's back to saving fuel and staying right behind his rival there. Is there going to be a move? Or is Tweetman happy to just sit and conserve fuel? We are going to find out. No, it looks as though Tweetman is just happy to sit there. So strategies at play here. Melty up ahead. Back in third place. Sophie has Yvonne in her slipstream, and then Asher in her slipstream, so a bit of a slipstream train forming. But a move position there. John Boy moving up to 6th. He's taking a very wide line, so he could be taking a look at Asher here. Couldn't quite get the line he needed through there to have a look, but it was a very good smooth line. It's the Grandpa car now back in front of Ferocious again, so this could be a thing for the whole race. It's Ferocious 9th. JDP and Kaz a long way back, so don't think these two are slow. I think they're just saving fuel. They're going to be saving a lot of fuel. A bit of a car off in the background there. Yes, Asher's gone off at the Mulsanne hairpin. That's disaster for Asher. The damage only light on this series, so Asher will recover from that, but that's put her a long way back. Never mind. There's over half an hour of racing to go, so there's plenty of time to catch up. And we've seen before that Asher can catch up. Although she's used a lot of overtake button already, so that's going to be Asher kicking herself there for that. Back to the front. Well, it's business as usual, isn't it? Melty leading the way, and Tweetman tucked under Melty's rear wing, saving fuel. Sorry about that. And there's definitely some fuel saving gone on. Tweetman's got ever so slightly more fuel than Melty, so this strategy working out for him. This will give him more of a boost at the end. So if we're just keeping them in sight, this is probably the closest top 4 we've seen all season. And if this is for the full 40 minutes, then this is going to be an absolute corker of a finish. You see that they're all saving fuel at the top. The fuel gauge, if you're new to this series, is split into 4 by lines. Oh, so for Yvonne's getting a penalty. The fuel gauge is split into 4, and if you split the race into 10-minute intervals, 1 for each of those sections, you can work out roughly who's saved the most fuel. So we'll take a look at that at the 10-minute mark. Ferocious looks like he's under pressure there with this penalty. Is he about to lose that position? I don't think he is. Some very tactical burning there of that penalty. And Ferocious is going to hang on to that 4th place by the look of it. Well, this midfield very, very busy. Yvonne probably desperate to claw her way through it and get back in touch with the front pack. She'll be annoyed at herself for making that mistake. Asher as well, who had the accident earlier, is already back up into 6th. So she's running well. She's running hard. We've seen her in the past run out of fuel, but perhaps she's learned that lesson and will be more conservative with her fuel usage in this race. There's a lot of cars trying to go into one chicane at the same time, but everybody made it through. Good work, everybody. What a battle this is. Yvonne back up to 5th. She's trying to push her way back up to that front group, get into Sophie's slipstream. She's probably burning more fuel than the drivers around her, but will then save that fuel again once she's caught up to her teammate. Sophie's there in 3rd. She's just keeping those front 2 cars honest. But it's Tweetman who's saving the most fuel at the moment. Oh, Melty trying to break the toe. Tweetman casually waiting for him to get back onto his line. So there's gamesmanship afoot. Oh, Tweetman a little bit heavy with the right foot coming out of the hairpin. That's got Sophie a little bit closer to him. Here comes Ferocious, Asher, Yvonne. So the whole field very, very close this time round. Anything could happen. And we've seen in the past that often it does. Asher there lining up Ferocious. Is she going to go for the move? Just a little bit too far back, didn't have the overspeed. Ferocious there catching up with Sophie, so Ferocious looking to save some fuel. Oh, Asher a bit leery. That's put her right into the clutches of Yvonne. Is Yvonne going to go for the move? It doesn't look like it. Or is she? Yvonne's got the inside of the next corner. This could be a move on a teammate. He doesn't look orchestrated. These two are fighting. Oh! Big hit there. Clonking wheels. I think it was a case of them both going for the same space, but both of them pointing in the right direction. No harm. They both continue. More action up ahead. Ferocious go for the move on Sophie. So Ferocious looking for that podium spot. Well, he's made it stick. So great move by Ferocious. He's trying to get back onto the back of Tweetman there. Oh, Sophie, a little bit too much power. Drew her offline. So that's going to give Ferocious some breathing space as he chases after the two drivers in front of him. Little bit too much pace into there. Might get over that penalty if he's lucky. I think he has, you know. Excellent. Okay, so we've got Melty still leading as we pass the 10-minute mark. Ferocious has saved plenty of fuel. Tweetman saved plenty of fuel in second. Up in first. Melty saved plenty of fuel. So these three are well on with their calculations. Back to Asher. Back to go all the way down the order. I think everybody has hit their fuel delta. They have. So all the drivers have learned from previous races. We've got their strategies nailed down. Ferocious, I don't think is pushing too hard, just keeping Tweetman where he can see him. Something's happened to Sophie and Yvonne. They're back in 6th and 7th. We didn't see what happened, but we have to assume that perhaps all the drivers just want to get past them. We're eager to be in front of those E-Team Brit cars. Asher is the lead E-Team Brit car at the moment. But up ahead, look how close the top three are. Wow, Melty, Tweetman, Ferocious, and Ferocious looks racy. And why wouldn't he? He's got plenty of fuel and he's lapping fast enough to get right up behind the leaders. And it looks as though Tweetman is trying to give Melty the hurry up. Melty's quite happy to control the pace of this race. He's an experienced single-seater racer. He knows what he's doing. Plus, Melty does Formula 1 content on his YouTube channel. Oh, Ferocious out wide there, manages to get away without getting his tyres too dirty. But that does cause him to lose a little bit of pace. Drop off the back of Tweetman just slightly. Should be able to get back onto him, no problem. Tweetman sticking to Melty like glue. They're hoping that Melty spins it like he did in the first race, but don't get too cocky because remember Tweetman also spun out from the lead in Tokyo. So sometimes drivers can get a little bit complacent and forget just how light and how powerful these cars are at the back end. Oh, speaking of which, Melty again, getting a right tank slapper on. Very lucky that Tweetman didn't pass him at that point. Ferocious third. Asher starting to reel this front group in. So we'll cover another 4-way battle going on very, very soon. We'll keep an eye on Asher as she makes progress. Ferocious, I think, is lapping well enough to start pulling these two front runners in. But is Melty sandbagging? Is Melty saving lots and lots of fuel? Well, we can see that we're 4.5 minutes over fuel calculations on Melty's car, so he's consuming really well. Melty's going to have a real charge at the end. That could mean that if he just holds this gap, controls the race the way he is doing, this could be a win. Ferocious on his best lap of the race so far. Car getting lighter, driver's getting more confident. First 3 cars now just nose to tail. And is Ferocious going for the move? Perhaps having a look at second there, didn't fancy it. Didn't like the look of where the first and second place cars are positioned. Once again, Tweetman's car very twitchy. He's absolutely on the limit with that car, trying to get the acceleration down. Desperate to keep in the big hole being punched in the air by Melty's car. I feel like Ferocious perhaps isn't playing the waiting game. Asher burning a little bit of extra fuel and using the overtake button to catch up with his front group. But Asher well within fuel limits now. Which means this isn't just a charge followed by a drop back. This is a proper charge by Asher. One that can be maintained. So those front group, they need to be really thinking about their strategies and how they're going to let this one play out. Ferocious so tantalisingly close to that second place spot. And Tweetman, is he hurting his own race by sitting behind Melty? Melty, is he hurting his own race by saving so much fuel? We're nearly halfway through the race and he's only used just over a quarter of his fuel, so really, really slow pace. And that's a penalty for Melty. Okay, he's not going to want to carry that for the entire race. In fact, Melty's going to burn that off. And by doing that, he's managed to jump behind Ferocious, get back in the slipstream. He's going to be saving some fuel. And now it's time to let Tweetman do all the work. Very clever tactic there by Melty. Ferocious going for the lead. Around the outside of Tweetman. Or could it be that Tweetman just wants to sit and save more fuel? It could be because I think he didn't fight Melty too hard there. And Ferocious getting a little bit of a lead. A little bit of a gap rather between himself and Melty. Will Melty pull it back? We'll have to wait and see. Right now, Asher is right in the back of Tweetman. So Asher wants to get involved. We said it was going to become a four-way battle for the lead. And this is it. The four-way battle is now taking shape. Asher well within that slipstream and Sophie catching up in the background there. Action happening very quickly. Asher using the slipstream to come off the throttle and burn off that penalty, so that was good. Good tactics there. A little bit wide, but that's okay. There's a penalty applied for that. Tweetman there almost pushing Melty down the straight. Trying to get away from Asher in 4th place. Look at this slipstream train. 4 cars, and it seems to be Ferocious doing the most work at the moment. We've to be very, very careful, not just through here, but also into the hairpin that's coming up. When you nose to tail, a hairpin is not where you want to be. Melty went out a little bit wide. Put him side by side with Tweetman. I don't think Tweetman particularly wants to go past. He wants to just save fuel. That's given Ferocious a little bit of breathing space going into the chicane. He's actually going to make a move. No, although Tweetman went over a little bit and covered off the inside. Oh, Asher's a little bit of oversteer there coming out of the hairpin, but gathered it up. Good reflexes. Past the halfway stage of the race now, and it has been all action so far. Normally there's a very quiet period, but no, not today. Today we are just going for it. Speaking of going for it, it looks like Asher's winding up for another go at Tweetman. And why not? Ash has learned from the previous mistakes and is now saving more fuel. So Asha can be as racist as she wants to be at the moment. Melty though, really losing touch with Ferocious. Must be hoping that Ferocious is burning too much fuel. But up ahead, that's not the case. Ferocious is managing that car really well. And for how long the drivers are on full throttle in this race, I think it's been surprising to see how much fuel they've been able to save. Melty a little bit hot through there, although that may have been lag. He's caught up to Ferocious. Is he going to go for that move? Try and get first place back? Or is he just going to sit in the slipstream and conserve fuel? Let's see if we can tell by the body language of the car. Ferocious there throwing some gravel onto the track. Don't know if that was a strategy. The Wacky Racers, the second place car. People drop back a little bit. What's happening in the back? Someone's offline there. That's Yvonne. Needs place. I think she was just looking for a way through. The cars at the back not perhaps saving as much fuel as we thought they would. JDP and Kaz there were really fuel saving for this race. So ETB have entered a lot of cars into this race and they've really split their strategies. It's going to be interesting to see which ones play out the best. At the front, at the sharp end, it's Asher who's on the attack against Tweetman. I don't think these cars have actually got enough top end in low fuel modes to make any overtakes on the straight. Got a few penalties at the back there. That's Sophie the penalty, John Boy the penalty. They're not big penalties, they're just track limits infractions. We have our slipstream train here. Tweetman just hopping out of the slipstream there, probably to give him a little bit more braking when he went into lift and coast. John Boy now is caught up, so unlike in previous races on other tracks, the majority of the pack has stayed together. This is going to make for a very interesting last 15 minutes of this race, as it could be that the front runners are under attack from the entire midfield. This race is far from over, although Asher a little bit wide there. She gathers it up but loses all that progress she'd made, so that's unlucky. Up ahead, Tweetman making a pass on Melty, so he doesn't want anything to do with that that midfield pack that's approaching. Tweetman trying to put some space between him and those cars on the attack. Speaking of on the attack, Asher already on the back of They Hate Melty as well. No mercy, no let up. Very mentally and physically challenging race this for everybody, as they're just giving it everything. It's not just racing at high speed, it's also doing the maths, figuring out where to save fuel, how much fuel you saved, when to use it, where to use it. They Hate Melty really coming under pressure from Asher. Oh, Asher's got a whole armful of oversteer and also the grandpa car around in the background. Oh, round and around. So that's let's have a look. There's 15 minutes to go. Not that likely that this car's going to catch back up, but we'll have to wait and see. Back up at the front, Ferocious has gone. Ferocious is down in 6th. There's no sign of damage. I'm not quite sure what happened there. We were too busy watching a backwards car. Yvonne has managed to slip past Asher. So Yvonne, who's been very strong in these races, now eyeing up a higher spot on the podium than she's already got. Melty not under the rear wing of Tweetman as we'd expect. It looks as though Tweetman's already starting to use some of that extra fuel. Perhaps in a higher engine mode now. Look at this gaggle of ETB cars here. No wonder the drivers without teams are feeling a little bit intimidated by this lot. Melty starting to catch up to Tweetman slowly. Got about 15 minutes of racing left. What's really going to hurt the drivers though is that this lap is so long around Le Mans that they're not quite sure how much fuel they're going to need at the very end of the race. If the timer gets very, very low into a few seconds and Tweetman crosses the line, it could trigger another lap, which is going to cause a whole lot of fuel issues for people. So if there was a 1 second penalty, getting absolutely mugged. Ferocious on the move, wants to get back to the front. The Ferocious stay with dirty tyres, so he's been on an adventure and another adventure. Yvonne now right up behind They Hate Melty. What a race Tweetman and Melty have been having. They've got so much work that they've had to do, so much work still to do. These two drivers, we knew they'd be hammer and tong, and they have been. They put on a wonderful show. Thank you guys for making this so good. But Yvonne wants to spoil that party. Look in the background there, Ferocious having a look at Asher. So Ferocious, he knows what it's like to lead this race, and he wants to be back up there. Sophie in 6th, hanging on in there. John Boy right behind Sophie. Grandpa car has caught back up. Oh, there's a bit of a melee there going into the chicane. Not the chicane, sorry, the hairpin. Couldn't speak for a moment. And I think Tweetman was slow through there because he's backed up the entire pack. Look at this front group, it's mad. This is all for the lead. And this is a very dangerous looking situation. Tweetman currently leading it, but can it go on like this for the next 12 minutes? I don't know. Where's Melty gone? Right down to 5th. But Melty's fallen right back in all of that. Sure, he's not going to be too pleased about that. There's plenty of time to recover. Side by side there with Sophie. Oh, a little bit too much throttle. Back end steps out. Manages to stay in 5th for the moment. And then tucks in behind John Boy. Let's get back to work. Tweetman now has fallen down to 3rd. He's lost all momentum. The other cars just crept past. We've got Yvonne there in 2nd. And Asher in the lead. Asher actually stretching her legs a little bit to get away from that pack. And she'll need to, because that pack is absolutely brutal. Make one little move there and your place is gone. Oh, little touch of the wheels there between Tweetman and Yvonne. Nothing too severe, just good, hard racing. Melty coming back in 4th. But Tweetman wants that first place back. He knows how to get it. We know in the past he's a race winner many, many times over in many series that we've run. Asher yet to win in Formula G, but she's always been right up there. This could be Asher's moment. She's got plenty of fuel. She could just turn the engine up and gun it. Tweetman under massive pressure from Yvonne, so he's going to have to work on staving off Yvonne's attacks while trying to catch up with Asher. Not an easy task. Then we've got They Hate Melty under pressure from John Boy. We haven't seen much of John Boy. He's had a quiet race, but it looks like he's about to get a little bit louder. John Boy lining up They Hate Melty. Oh, but as soon as you step out of the slipstream on the straight, you just don't have enough top end to do anything with it. Your car's moving around there at the front, trying to break the toe a little bit. Asher commanding this race. Absolutely fine. Oh no! Massive penalty there for Asher. She must have been way offline going through the chicane. So she's got to find a way to burn that before the end of the race. Tweetman staying in Asher's slipstream. Yvonne staying in his. And then Melty. We've got a move in progress. John Boy there trying to make a move, didn't quite work out. Better luck next time, John boy. They hit Melty sitting firmly in the slipstream of Yvonne. Not using much overtake though, so he's not really going for it right now. Melty just biding his time. Yvonne hasn't used the overtake button. We know that in the past she's had issues with the overtake button on her wheel, and it looks like that might be happening once again. In the background there, we've got Sophie and Saflicious side by side. Saflicious has had a real yo-yo of a race. He's been at the back, at the front, at the back again. But Saflicious has got the pace to win this. Perhaps not the luck. So Melty there going through into second place. Great last minute braking manoeuvre. Drops Tweetman into third. Yvonne's into fourth. Less than 10 minutes to go. This is amazing. We haven't seen the pack all season this close for so long. And while they're all fighting and squabbling away, Tweetman out very wide there, Asher is scampering away at the front. Oh, Saflicious there. Absolutely fearless. But then gets pushed out. Saflicious going to get a penalty for that? I don't think so. No. So the charge continues. Sophie in fifth. She's hunting down Tweetman, who's just been shuffled out. There's a little bit of contact there, but nothing malicious. Sophie trying to squeeze past Tweetman. Can she get around the outside? Is she got the pace? She's another driver who doesn't seem to have the overtake button working. Oh, Tweetman not only covers that off, but also makes a dive. Oh, Sophie gets some oversteer and puts it into the gravel. So close to the end of the race, that could be disastrous for her. Saflicious still in fourth. Missing down Tweetman, who's once again in third place. Melty, who's once again in second. Asher up ahead in the lead with plenty of fuel. So this isn't going to be about fuel saving. This is going to be a real race. For the finish, we've got Tweetman there, just been overtaken by Saflicious. So I said Saflicious was on a charge, and Saflicious is on a charge. He wants that win. In right in the slipstream of Asher. On the overtake button, Saflicious takes the lead of this round of Formula G. There's only 2 more races after this one, so every point looks oh so much more critical. In the background there, Melty under pressure from Grandpa. The Grandpa car, another car with plenty of fuel. Yeah, everybody's nailed the fuel strategy for this one. So well done everybody. Why oh why is Melty so slow? Melty on the overtake button trying to defend there from Yvonne. Can he do it? Yeah, so he's put a little bit of a gap to Yvonne, which is what he needed. Oh, she's come back at him, braking later for the hairpin. More confident on those brake pedals. Oh, I think she's only got one brake pedal. Is Sophie pushing Yvonne is the question. We've seen a lot of bump drafting this season between various drivers. It is going to be banned next season. But for now, it's proving to be very effective. They hit Melty back up to fourth. Oh, Sophie there again. Just overdoes it before he twists out a bit of an issue. Sophie out too wide. And Melty down in 8th. So it looks like Sophie and Melty took each other out on that corner. That's going to be a disaster for Melty. He's a long way back now. Oh, but you can see how aggressive you're going through there. John Boy out very wide. They Hate Melty pushing like crazy to get back through the pack. He's back up to the position he's lost, but he has lost time. So They Hate Melty is going to be very annoyed about that. And he's all over the back of that black, purple and gold car. Meanwhile, Tweetman's just made it into second. The top three drivers all carrying penalties there, so they've all been giving it absolutely everything. Flirting with danger at every track limit. Can Tweetman catch up to Ferocious? If we look at the lap times, 3.5 minutes with 3 minutes of racing remaining, about half a minute gone. This could be the last lap, although this could be pushed to another lap. Asher almost out of overtake there. The halo red on that car, denoting that Asher has less than 25% of overtake remaining. But she is still battling for that first place. She's a very strong race. Oh, we're getting shovelled out a little bit there in that battle against Ferocious. I was just told second. Staying in that slipstream because this could be the last lap. So positions are so important right now. Asher trying to break that toe. Be careful not to weave in the braking zone. Don't think there's going to be any danger of that. The revs of these cars much higher now. You can tell all the drivers have turned the engines all the way up. Oh, Asher out too wide. Is that going to be a penalty? Because that would be a bit of a disaster if this is the last lap. I think she got away with it. You can get away with it if you come off the throttling off, which I think she did. Once again, trying her best to break that toe. Tweetman and Ferocious not squabbling between themselves, I think. They're just trying to reel in Asher for that first place. There's other things happening at the back, but this battle for the lead's where it's at. Tweetman chasing down Asher. He's not using the overtake button at the moment. He could be using it here. Electing to perhaps just see what happens with the lap times. Asher out a little bit wide there. She's pushing so hard trying to keep Tweetman back. Trying to go around the outside. Asher comes off the middle. Ferocious has fallen away a little bit. What a great battle for the lead this is. Asher looking for any spot on the track that is not going to give Tweetman an advantage, and then falls straight back into the racing line, into the braking zone. So that's good racing. Tactical racing. We've got 30 seconds of racing left and about 30 seconds of lap left. Anything could be about to happen. This is the last lap for some people. I think the last lap for Tweetman and Asher as they come through the chicanes. It's going to be close. Oh, Asher with a kick of oversteer. Breaks the beam, Tweetman through, Ferocious through. They're starting another lap. At the back, Grandpa finishes 7th. Just didn't quite make it to the line. Melty will be gutted with 8th. JDP in 9th. Sophie, who's going to be really annoyed, at 10th. And then Kaz in 11th. But everyone else, the last lap has begun. Have they conserved enough fuel for it is the question. Asher looks like she might be in trouble with fuel. Tweetman still pushing. Ferocious still pushing. John Boy and Yvonne, they're all okay on fuel. John Boy and Yvonne and McFlurry. Couldn't even get my words out. So much has happened in this race. Has Asher got the fuel she needs to get to the end of this race? It's going to be an absolute disaster for her if she hasn't, because she's had such a great race. Tweetman sitting ready to punish her for any mistake. In fact, Tweetman now on the overtake button, so he saved it all just for this sort of situation. Asher is all out of overtake. desperate to break that toe. But with the extra fuel and the overtake button, Tweetman, he's just got all the tools he needs. Ferocious sitting in third, waiting to see what happens up ahead. Maybe looking for places to burn that penalty off with some lift and coast. Tweetman now absolutely monstering the back wing of that first place car. John Boy looking in the background there. He seems to be closing in on Ferocious. Oh, back end of Asher's car getting out a little bit wide there. She's almost out of fuel. Can she make it to the end? Oh, it's going to be so close. It's going to be very tight indeed. Tweetman looks. Nothing happening there. Ferocious closing in. So if Ferocious has closed in so fast, that must mean that Asher's a little bit slower than she was. In fact, I think that's it. I think that's her fuel gone in a race run. Oh, absolute disaster for Asher, who raced so well. So unlucky. Oh, and unlucky for Ferocious as well. Pushes too hard, dips the wheel over the curb and spins it out. What a disaster. Yvonne in fourth, almost out of fuel. John Boy in third, almost out of fuel. But it's McFlurry Twist in second, who's been nowhere in this race. We've barely even talked about him since the start. He's just come out of nowhere. But he's going to burn that penalty off. Tweetman did everything right in this race, except the track limits at that particular corner. And, well, he's using the overtake button. He doesn't need to. But he wants this race to be over and done with. That is going to be a win for Tweetman. And he had to work for it. In the background there, McFlurry just has to burn the penalty off, so John Boy comes home in second. Couldn't get the camera to focus on him for some reason. McFlurry Twist third. Ferocious. Is he going to get that position? Yeah, he's burned his penalty off. It looks like Yvonne behind him has run out of fuel. Almost. And then Asher, so unlucky. So very unlucky. Well, there's your order. Tweetman wins, John Boy second, then McFlurry Twist, Ferocious, Yvonne, Asher. There's the points so far. There's still 2 more races left. So, are you putting money on who's going to win this championship? If you want to find out who that winner's going to be, you'll have to join us again next time. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for our Discord. And until next time, be good to yourself, be good to those around you. Bye bye for now.